The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good Friday morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN, 8:30 a.m. Friday morning, 60 minutes to go until the opening bell. We got markets in negative territory to kick things off. Not sure what's going on there. That was the case yesterday, folks, and we all saw what happened, right? 9:30 a.m. We'll zoom it in. There's your acceleration right out of the gate in the S&Ps. You stay higher for most of the day. Overnight, S&Ps slide to negative territory. We reach a low at about 6:30 a.m. this morning of 36.20. S&Ps up about 14 points from that level, but still negative by about 26 points on the session. You're down about 0.7% right now at 36.34. Nasdaq Futures off 84 points. That's about 0.7% as well. Again, look at the action we had yesterday. Quite the acceleration at 9:30. We'll see what 9:30 brings this morning. Right now, you get the Nasdaq off 84 points at 12,316. I mean, some context here, folks. We're down 84 points. But you're talking about we're back to where we were at 9:40, 9:45 in the morning yesterday, and we're a solid right now, 100 points off of the lows that we had early in the open yesterday. The Dow off 177 points, 29,735. We're about 100 points off of where we were on the lows at about 6:30 a.m. this morning. Got the Russell off just about 1% right now, trading at 1,900 on the dot. That's negative 19 points. Jumping around to commodities, crude oil, quite the day yesterday to the upside, giving back some of those gains, but we're off about 7 cents on the session right now at 46.71. You see the run it had yesterday, 47.74. Are we going to get a $50 print in crude sometime soon? Very possible. Gold contract up $4 at 18.41 right now. The notes and bonds, folks, check it out. We got the 10-year up 6 ticks at 138.02. For some context on the bounce we're getting here, we were right near the lower end of this consolidation, and since then we bounced. We're dealing with a yield right now of the 10-year of 0.8, folks, ready? 0.888%, 0.888%, about 0.89% we're looking at the 10-year yield. Backing it back up, you can see every time we've gotten down to the lower boundary line, we've jumped back in. We've been in this consolidation since, remarkable, folks, March 27th or abouts. We'll jump over to the VIX this morning. Volatility index, 2396. Now, we've gotten technically a 19 handle back on November 27th, folks, but if you look at it, that was like almost an erroneous tick. It was one tick down there. Really have not made it below $20. Made it to 20.1, 2010 on December 9th. From there, we're up to about 2394 in the volatility index. All right, where are we going to start? My favorite stock out there, or at least one of my favorites, Disney. Talk about a rocket ship, folks. This chart does not have the overnight action in Disney. And guess what, folks? You got to push it all the way. We're going to open at about 167 this morning on Disney. You can't get better than the numbers that they put out last night for their earnings, folks. How about to the tune of looking for as many as 350 million subscribers worldwide by 2024. That's the guidance that they're looking for, folks. Remarkable. Now, you push to where they've been. They're going to raise their rates as well. Monthly rate climbing from $1 to $8 with Disney Plus. When you bundle Disney, Hulu, and ESPN, that number rising as well. Disney accelerating higher, and a big part of it. So you got Disney Plus is at 86.8 million subscribers. Quite a run. They were at 74 million last quarter. All right, you add in Hulu, you add in ESPN. I think that gets them in the neighborhood of about 135 million subscribers overall, paying over all three of their brands. They are also coming out with a lot of content, to put it lightly. Future plans include 10 series from Marvel, 10 Star Wars TV series, and another 15 programs from Disney, live action, Disney animation, and Pixar. The programming slate also includes feature-length films such as Disney animation picture Raya and the Last Dragon. That's going to be on Disney Plus at an extra charge, the same time as in theaters. 80% of the projects are now headed to streaming rather than the big screen. Their CEO said company's biggest films are going to be saved for theaters first. That would include movies such as Black Widow, a Marvel film slated for May. They got some sports deals in there. You have Hulu, more adult-oriented streaming service, added 2.2 million. So they're up to 38.8, and Amazon's up to 11.5 million subscribers. They're working with the Kardashians in here. Executives at the presentation also announced that ESPN and ABC, they're going to be the home for the Southeastern Conference top football and basketball games under a 10-year deal starting in 2024. I mean, check that out, right? You're seeing it. You're seeing it come in. Sports is the last big thing, folks. Starting in 2024, these sports deals go for a long time, but starting in 2024, okay, ESPN and ABC are going to be the home for the SEC football and basketball. That's a big conference, folks. And guess what? That's going to be incorporated somehow, I bet, into whether it's ESPN Plus programming, right? Maybe they're going to air it on ABC. Maybe they're going to offer it to the ESPN Plus streaming customers as well. The company is going to pay in the low $300 million range each year on top of previous commitments, or more than 6 times what CBS currently pays. Did you just hear that, folks? More than 6 times what CBS currently pays. ESPN is going to be paying for the rights of that sports. There's nothing like sports when it comes to live. It's about the only thing that you need to watch live at this point, right? It used to be that shows would air, Friends Thursday night, must-see TV, right? You got to see it Thursday. Football, once a football or basketball game is over, a majority of people have no interest in watching that game in the future because they've already known the results. Nonetheless, let's jump over to the action on Disney, folks. There's your acceleration. We're coming right up to the highs we had overnight at about 5 a.m. Eastern time of 168. We're sitting at 167.40. Folks, you're talking about $13. You're talking about maybe a 9% pop for Disney. Staggering numbers when you talk about what they're looking for, folks. As I mentioned, 300 to 350 million potential subscribers by the year 2024. Big time. Watch out, folks. They're a player, and they're coming after Netflix. Now, speaking of, let's jump over to Netflix. Trading a little bit lower with the market. Doesn't mean that Disney's going to eat Netflix's lunch, folks. It just means that Disney is now probably going to be in the same conversation. Doesn't mean you can't have both. I have both as a person, as a consumer. I have both Netflix, Disney. I have Amazon Prime as well. But I don't plan on canceling both anytime soon. You got kids in the house. You got what you got. Disney, man, they are on quite a roll, folks. Disney shares, as I mentioned, climbing for all-time highs. You put this back, even a 5-year weekly. I mean, look at this, to $79, folks, climbing above. And I'm going to do a quick lesson here, okay? You got to back this thing up so far, folks. We're looking at a weekly, okay? We're going back 2 years for a quick lesson on Disney, all right? We got about 50 seconds left in this segment before we go on break. April of 2019, Disney announces the plans that they had for Disney Plus. They're going to undercut Netflix. The market loves the fact that they're going to go for a broad audience at a cheap price, as opposed to maybe an HBO Max, which is trying to charge $20 a month, right? Disney says, no, we're going to go for like $6 or $7 a month. We're going to undercut Netflix. We're going to push it out to the masses. They launch in November, okay? And you get up to $153.41. And today, as I mentioned, we're going to be pushing almost 170 the open on Disney. Stay tuned, folks. We got Lululemon. We got Costco. We got Qualcomm action this morning. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after the break.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. Are you looking to buy or sell gold, silver, platinum, coins, or bullion? We can help. At Tiger Precious Metals and Stones, we specialize in the buying and selling of gold, silver, as well as collectible U.S. and foreign coins. We not only buy your unwanted or broken jewelry, but you can trade that in for gold and silver coins, too. Call Andy now at 727-329-8245 for a quote over the phone and to lock in the current market price. Call us now at 727-329-8245.
TFNN has just launched our Tiger Dollar Holiday Sale. For a limited time, we've doubled all the Tiger Dollar bonuses, where you can now get up to a 20, 30, or even a 40% bonus on your Tiger Dollar purchase. Tiger Dollars are good for all TFNN newsletters, webinars, and services and never expire. Whether you're a current subscriber or just thinking of signing up for any TFNN products in the future, this is a great time to get your Tiger Dollars. Happy holidays from all of us at TFNN.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. The printing presses are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The U.S. deficit has risen 200% in 1 year with no end in sight. The markets are looking for an additional stimulus bill to get us through this once-in-a-generation pandemic. There is no free lunch, folks. The more stimulus dollars put into the marketplace, the less your dollar is worth each and every day. This is the time to protect yourself with a portion of your portfolio in the metal market. The Gold Report comes out each Monday morning. I bisect and dissect the dollar, silver, gold, the XAU, and the HUI. The Gold Report is a long-term hedge against the dilution of your buying power. The U.S. has put more than $6 trillion into the marketplace in the last 6 months, with more expected in the next few months. The market did and does need the stimulus, but it will have long-term implications on our buying power. The Gold Report comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to TFNN.com and order the Gold Report now. Protect your buying power. Order the Gold Report now.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. The market's sitting in negative territory with the S&P's negative by about 25 points right now, trading at 36.35. Jumping over to Bitcoin. Bitcoin down about $535, 17,905. Jumping around to other stories out there. We'll start it off with COVID relief talks, hitting a snag over lawsuit protections. Folks, it's the same stuff every single day that's been snagging these talks. I don't know how they keep seeming to make quote-unquote progress when the biggest obstacles out there they can't seem to get over. You're talking about whether it's liability protection or it's the money going to states, state aid provisions. That's the big sticking point, folks, and it's still there. So right now, you got no deal. You got Congress adjoining, and they'll be back next week. So nothing happening today out there. Bipartisan talks on nearly $1 trillion pandemic relief bill in Congress hung up on differences between Republicans and Democrats on shielding companies from virus-related lawsuits, raising doubts about a deal and risk dragging negotiations past next week. Folks, we need compromise on both sides of the country. We're so divided, yet it's so many people on either side. The only way to come together for that is some compromise. Hopefully we get it done. But the market getting a little dicey coming into the weekend with no relief and at a time, folks. You know, the numbers are pretty stark in terms of we're dealing with 230,000 cases a day of COVID. We're dealing with deaths that are now at about 3,000 cases a day, and we're dealing with hospitalizations that are at 100,000 cases a day. We're coming into the holiday season. We're coming into the cold season. Not good data out there, and we got to make it through these 3-6 months. Hopefully Congress gets their act together to provide some type of stimulus to those so hurt out there, whether you're talking about the service industry, the airline industry, etc. Tough scenarios. All right. Jumping around to different companies with earnings, we had Lulu out with their numbers last night. Sales top estimates, strong demand for workout gear. Lulu, how about third quarter sales of $1.1 billion, up 22% from a year ago, beating analyst estimates. Shoppers frequented its stores and website to buy workout apparel. In North America, you had revenue growing 19%, boosted by e-commerce. They're not offering a complete outlook for 2020 at this time. That's where things get a little dicey, folks. Lulu, on their numbers, you see the volatility out of the gate. How about 390? kudos to whoever sold at the peak there last night. We're back just off a bit, off about $5 for Lululemon at $3.69. Some context on this stock. It's been a rocket ship. We're going to open right near all-time highs, basically at $3.64. We were at about $2.50 pre-COVID, and you're at $128 at the lows of March. Costco out with their numbers as well. There's your daily. We're going to open a little bit higher today. There's your 15-minute, $3.74. I was talking about this with Tom on the show yesterday, my dad. If you think about it, one of the things I'm really trying to wrap my head around is that there's never been a time like this before, folks. We have such bad economic numbers in the current, right? Weekly jobless claims yesterday, big numbers. You're climbing back to almost 1 million a week for initial jobless claims. Meanwhile, nobody wants to sell this market because they know vaccination's already starting in the UK. You have the Pfizer vaccine hearing yesterday for the US. That seems to be going well. They are going to get their approval, it looks like, any day now. Shots for the first people in the United States could begin any day now. So you have this weird battle going on between buyers and sellers where you might not want to buy all these stocks because you don't need. I mean, do you need to own Costco at $3.80 when it was just trading at almost $2.80 in June? There's a lot of growth priced into this stock, folks. Doesn't mean it's going to sell off. Might be a great time to be selling puts, selling calls, absorbing some of the premium. We might be in for a consolidation period of about 3-6 months where reality needs to catch up with the expectations of an S&P that's sitting at 36.35 when you started the year, folks, at 32.35. You're talking about 400 S&P points. We are positive for the year. That's about a 12% return for the year. For the year this year, 2020, folks, a 12% return in stocks in 2020. Okay, now 2021, it's going to be a banner year. That's what I'm looking for, right? In 6 months, when the world opens back up, all this pent-up demand. So it's this interesting time. That do I see it still up to 3,200? No, I don't see that happening because people are going to want to be in this market when we start reaching any type of herd immunity, right? When those that are most vulnerable have received the vaccine, when we start to open back up, man, I can't wait to travel, concerts, attend a Lightning game, attend a Bucks game. Yeah, but we're not there yet, so you might just see that consolidation. Something to really think about. I've started to examine that in some of the trades that I'll be making in my newsletter for the next 3-6 months as this comes out. But you might see a consolidation area, folks, because volatility comes from uncertainty. And there's actually a lot of certainty in this market. I mean, that's the run that you saw, okay? This run from November 1st, it had to do with certainty because the vaccines came out and the election was resolved, no matter what you hear on the internet, folks, okay? So uncertainty gets sucked out of the market because we have a 95% effective vaccine. We have a couple of them. We almost have 3 of them, it looks like, potentially, so far, with others coming down the pipeline, okay? So we trade from 3,200 to 3,700. You trade up 500 S&P points on that variable, which was the effectiveness of a potential vaccine and of the election. Both of those variables getting sucked out of the market. Now we got an area where we got to let reality catch up. We have to actually get those vaccines out. Okay, now if that does not happen, yes, you will see it trail off. I imagine that is going to happen, though, folks, okay? They're going to push the vaccine out. Anyway, think about that. We might see a consolidation, and you're kind of seeing it. The reason why I bring it up with both Lulu and Costco today, okay? You're trading only $5 away on Lulu. There's your daily. We're at about 364. And same thing on Costco. We're trading at 373, 374. We're at 372, folks. You know, we had a trade in my newsletter for Adobe earlier in the week on their earnings, okay? Their earnings, putting it on a 15-minute. They come out with their numbers early yesterday. No huge reaction, folks. You're trading within $5 or $10 of that equity because they're strong equities, right? You're sitting at 500 from basically 350 prior to COVID, 250 at the lows. But, man, you're not going to accelerate higher when it's all priced into the upside already, and you're not going to accelerate lower as long as they're positioned well to capitalize off of the world opening back up. Something to really think about for all these equities. Now, Qualcomm, different story here. You got Apple saying maybe that they're going to start producing their own chips. Qualcomm falling off from 156, we're down to 150 for that stock. Been a strong stock. I mean, look at this run, folks, from 58. We're going to open at about 150 today. No harm, no foul on that stock in a big way. All right, jumping around to what else we got going on. We covered Lulu. They're up on their numbers. Checking in on Costco numbers, which I referenced real quick. They beat estimates of first quarter profit and revenue. Costco, they've just been firing on all cylinders. Net income soaring 38% to $1.17 billion, excluding items. It earned $2.30 a share. The market was looking for $2.05. They included a pre-tax expense of $212 million related to COVID-19 charges, and it said it extended higher wages for its workers through January 3rd. Total revenue rising 17%. How about it, folks? $43.21 billion. Not bad, versus $42.42. I mean, that's an $800 million beat, folks, for Costco. Headline on Oracle: slow revenue growth as licensing and hardware business decline. The results, they're out, folks. And getting into it, $1.06 a share versus $1. $9.8 billion versus $9.79. In this market, folks, you can't just come in with expectations, okay? You're going to see what happens when you come in with expectations. You trade lower, okay? Many of these equities are priced for, and I don't want to call it perfection, but it's pretty close. Stay tuned. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about a little bit of Lou Gehrig's jersey, 1931. Talk about some millions. Stay tuned, folks. Be right back.
Back in the day, I joined Hotel California in 2006, and like many of you, was drawn in by, as well as...
Whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows.
You see, I believe that everything in life happens for us, not to us. And Tom ignited the fire within me to want to learn how to master the markets. So how did I go from knowing nothing about technical analysis to becoming the #1 market timer for the S&P 500 in 2018 and the #2 market timer in 2019? Simply put, I hired coaches with a proven track record, which led me to a whole new set of tools that I created to interpret the message of buyers and sellers. I would love the opportunity to teach you this award-winning set of tools and to help you improve your market timing. You can test drive my newsletter service, Mastering Probabilities, for the next 30 days with no risk to you. Plus, you'll gain access to archive workshops that'll take you step-by-step through my system. Sign up today by going to the homepage of TFNN.com and selecting Mastering Probability in the newsletter tab.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Introducing Primal Edge.
Today, it's even more important to take a supplement that complements your health. Primal Edge is specifically formulated to boost your immune system and help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Our early ancestors found all their nutritional requirements in the wild environment. But today, our food sources don't contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated humic and fulvic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, without them, life cannot exist.
That's right, Ellen. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge. Just $89 exclusively at TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. We got the S&Ps down 25 points right now. Nasdaq negative 76. Be interesting to see where this market opens, especially after when we had yesterday's open, right? On the heels of, we'll zoom it in again on the S&P. We got the S&P yesterday. We shot from 3644, folks, up to almost 3680 in a heartbeat by 1120. This morning, we're going to open things up. It looks about 3636 on that market. Stay tuned, folks. Next, we got our man Larry Pesavento coming up at TFNN. And what else we got going on, folks? I'm going to jump over to where we are. Let me get my chart up. TFNN.com. We got a Tiger Dollar sale going on, folks, through next Sunday only on the front page of TFNN.com. My site loads it up here. Right now, we've doubled the bonuses, folks, we have going on. TFNN.com. Where's my action? What's going on with this website? They were talking about websites. There we go. Tiger Dollars, up to a 40% bonus, folks. You can get a 20, 30, or even a 40% bonus on your purchase. Tiger Dollars can be used for any TFNN newsletter or service, folks, whether you're talking about the opening call, Dave White's Path of Least Resistance, the Gold Report, TAS Profile Scanner, my newsletter, Rocket Equities and Options. They never expire. They're good for any TFNN service. If you're a current subscriber out there, folks, go get some Tiger Dollars. Apply them to your account. They're automatically used. If you're thinking about signing up, get some Tiger Dollars. They never expire. You can use those when you sign up automatically. And Basil Chapman, he'll be coming up at noon. His prices are going up January 1st, folks. If you haven't tried the opening call, check it out on the front page of TFNN.com. Checking in. 36.35. We'll jump to commodities real quick to wrap up the program. We got the gold contract up about $6 at 18.43. Silver is up 3 pennies at 24.12 right now. And we'll finish it off with Bitcoin. Down $450 at 17,990. Folks, if you saw the news story out there about Mass Mutual putting $100 million into Bitcoin, okay? That's a big number, folks, okay? That is a big number in a big way. If you start seeing big banks putting big money into Bitcoin, boy, watch out. But check out the context of this. That represents 0.04% of their portfolio of $235 billion, which would be akin to somebody with $100,000 investing just $40 in Bitcoin. Watch out if you start picking up those numbers. Stay tuned, folks. We got Larry. He's coming up next. Trade what you see. Be right back.